Hello everyone, this is Y&C Consulting Inc. presenting the proposal for earthworks and installation of water mains for the Mazda housing project. First, we will begin with talking about the site layout. This construction site has an area of approximately 150,000 meters squared. It contains 5 contaminated sections with the following contaminations: arsenic, mercury, lead, tin 60, and tin 40. Gate A is the only entrance into and out of the site. A&M Works is 5,000 meters from Site A, and it is used for importing fill material. Dump Site B is used for exporting fill cut material, and it is located 25,000 meters away from Site A to the east. The project scope. First, we will remove all contaminated materials to 253 meters. However, as regulation says, arsenic and tin 40 do not need to be removed since it is under the regulated amount. Then we will begin cutting and filling the land to a final 255 meter elevation. Lastly, we will design and install water main systems and residential roadways. First, we will begin with mobilization. We will mobilize into our site with an allocated cost of $750,000 and an allocated time of 10 days. These tasks include the permits required to start construction, for example, traffic control, notice of construction, water, and electricity. We will also install temporary fencing around the perimeter for disabling access into and out of the site for unauthorized personnel. There will also be temporary road for access within the site for trucks to transport materials. We will also include construction site offices and portable washrooms for construction site workers. Next, we will talk about the construction stages. Stage 1 is the cutting. So in cutting, we will be using excavators, wheel loaders, and trucks. In the fill process, we will be using wheel loaders, dozers, and trucks. And the third stage is grading and compaction. We'll be using graders and compactors. This project is separated into 4 phases to make sure everything works simultaneously and lag time is prevented. In Phase A, we will fill arsenic section to 255 meters. The time required is approximately 35 days. We will also be cutting mercury, tin 60, and tin 40 to 253 meters at the same time of the filling of the arsenic section. This will take 55 days, 13 days, and 16 days respectively. Phase B will include the grading and compaction of arsenic section, which will require 1 day, and simultaneously the filling of mercury, tin 60, and tin 40 to 255 meter elevation, which requires 35 days, 3 days, and 14 days respectively. At the same time, we will be cutting the lead contaminated area to 253 meters, which will require 67 days. Phase C will be grading, compacting the mercury, tin 60, and tin 40. This will require 2 days, 1 day, and 1 day respectively for the contaminated areas. We will fill the lead section to 255 meters. The time required for this is 32 days. The last phase, Phase D, will only require the grading and compaction of lead section, which will require 2 days. During these 4 phases, all of the equipment is shared amongst each contaminated area, so there will be no idle time or a minimized amount of idle times for these equipment. The project schedule. As you can see, the project schedule is separated into each contaminated areas with the different construction stages as mentioned before. There is the filling, cutting, grading, and compaction of each area. The construction will take approximately 98 working days to complete. The tentative start date is April 4th, 2020, and we will finish around July 10th of 2020. The project costs. Here is the construction cost of the project. These costs are separated into our 4 operations, which is the cutting, filling, grading, and compaction of each contaminated area. Some miscellaneous costs include $1.87 million for the engineering service fee, which is 5% of the total construction cost, $319,000 in insurance costs, and $3.96 million for the contingency cost, which is around 10% of the total construction, services, and insurance costs. The total cost with 5% construction tax, including the mobilization, the 4 operations, the water main installation, residential roadways, removal of waste, along with our miscellaneous costs that I mentioned prior to, is $37,439,000. We will also be installing the water main system after the construction. We will allocate around $990,000 and 68 days to complete. These tasks include site preparation, transport, unloading, storing and handling pipes, excavation, support systems, dewatering, backfilling and compaction, installation and jointing of pipes, installation of hydrant sites and service connections, and hydrostatic testing, flushing and disinfecting water mains, and lastly, the site restoration. We will also be installing the residential roadway after the water main installation, and we will allocate $3.9 million for 110 days to work on this portion of the project. These tasks include the site preparation, widening of pavement and roadsides, bulking, hardening, and concrete pavement, which include glided pavement and concrete pavement, asphalt pavement, and this completes our presentation. For more project information, please see our full project report. All details, including scheduling, cost, assumptions, and references, can be found in the report as well. Thank you for listening to the presentation, and for any inquiries, please contact us at the following email. Thank you for choosing YNC Consulting, and we hope to work with you more in the future.